Hi everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm in the middle of a Christmas card series. So it's October, it's crunch time to decide if you have to at least have decided what you're going to use for your cards, and then get it and kind of play with them and design them, and then make sure you have enough envelopes and cardstock and ink refill and anything else that you may need, ribbon embellishments to do your particular card. So over this last several days of October, I'm showing you tons of Christmas cards, and I already have a lot on my channel. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a playlist of just current things that you can still buy, and Christmas card ideas from those. So if you're on my email list, when this email comes, I'll cross my fingers. I'm recording a bunch of stuff today, but I'm going to try to remember when this one goes out to add the playlist to that email for you. So if you're not on my email list, sign up. And if you sign up on this day, then I'll try to remember to forward it to you. Normally I don't forward. You just get the next one when you join my list. So a couple of things before I start, I'll show you some ideas. These are two. We have some new online exclusives coming up in November, early November. So I will take a little pause when we get to the very end of October, and I'm going to show you some sneak peek things. But these you can get as thank you gifts from me. The details are on my website if you purchase from me in October. So then let's take a look at some of the Christmas cards that are already up. This is Season of Elegance. This is Winterly Treetops. The card actual outside of the card today, we're going to do the same outside card. The stamping's just going to be very different. And then we have the Shepherd's Care. We have Yuletide Village. And then we have these are the ones that I just finished up. And now I'm going to have to think of the name. Reindeer Fun. I think it's Reindeer Fun. I literally did these, but then I showered and I ate. So, I've had enough time to forget. And then here's another one. These two are part of the tutorial bundle. So if you sign up, or if you can purchase the bundle, or you can, if you spend $50 with me, then you get that month's bundle for free. All those details are also on my website. So today I'm going to use Snowy Scenes. I have used it once, and I made a tag, and I couldn't find it. And then there is also a scrapbooking kit that matches this. And after we're past, in November, I'm going to do gifts, tags, and scrapbook pages. So come back in November and I'll use it then. But need to get the Christmas cards out so you can start making them. So the Snowy Scenes, you can see it's got a whole bunch of adorable little images. And then it makes the snow globe. I'm going to use the snow globe on my next card. But it has different stamp sets. So I'm going to pull that out. Paper's adorable. All of it's adorable. So when I got it out, didn't really know what to do with it. Here's the stamp set. Look how many pieces there are. So you can build little scenes. It's great for scrapbooking in the winter, or skiing, or cabin pictures. Super cute. Zoo pictures. And then here are all of the dies that I'm not using. And here's all the ones that I am using. So let's get going on it. It's an easy card. It just has a lot of little bits. So we have white, and then white to stamp on, and then I have pecan, and one of these is to die cut, and the other one's for the inside of the card. So let's get this stuff we're going to stamp first. So I pulled, there are words in this set, but not so much inside card words, because I use Season's Greetings on the outside. So this is from the online greeting set. It's not everyday greetings. It would be, what do you think it is? It's one that's holiday. So I'm just going to stamp in black on the pecan, and this will go on the inside of the card. It's the most wonderful time of year. I thought it matched this set really well. This set also does have a Happy New Year in it, if you like to make New Year cards. So I'm going to do what color I have open, and then I'll switch to what stamp I pick up. So I'm going to do my snowman in black, just in Memento. And then I'm also going to do my penguin in black. You'll see when I show you the card that I originally did, I did it in basic gray. I was trying to keep the card a little bit more subtle, but because the snowman's right next to him, he kind of feels like he's getting lost. We don't want our penguin to be lost. So there's those two. And then if I can find the hat. Here it is. I'll do the hat in black. All of these have dies. close that up so I don't get it on me. I think that's all the black I need. And then I'm going to do copper clay. Copper clay is a really pretty color when you are working with the pecan because they coordinate well. My pad is super juicy. So when you have a super juicy pad and a photopolymer set, put it on. Make sure that it has a second to like soak into the paper, because if you pull it right off, then sometimes the ink splatters. So if you have little dots and then when you lift it up, just be careful. And that kind of avoids the little dot thing that can happen. This copper clay will look a lot lighter as it dries, because right now it's super dark, and it's partly because my pad is so juicy. We're making this at my in-person camp, so I'm trying to move everything to the side. So now let's do shaded spruce. There's some holly berries. This pad needs to be re-inked, and I was going to do it before I started filming and I forgot. So we'll see if we get it nice. That's okay. It could stand to have a little bit more ink on it. And then we need Poppy Parade. And for it, I have put both the holly berries and the candy cane on the same block because they're both going to be in Poppy. So that's done. And then we have the log cabin. I did it in Pebbled Path. I like to put my solid stamps on. If you pull them up, you can see that they have a lot of little foam kind of marks on them from the sponge ink pad. So if you put it on, kind of get the ink on there and then give it a little twist, it can sometimes take care of some of those. And then the same thing, I'm going to wait just a second because that pad, my Pebbled Path pad, is a little juicy as well. And then we have the snowflakes. So on the original card, I did the penguin in basic gray, and I did the snowflakes in smoky slate. I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to do the snowflakes in basic gray. And there's two of them, and I'm just going to do them. I put them on the same block as well. And then I have my trees left. I have those in Lost Lagoon. One's going to go on the front of the card and one's going to go on the inside. So this is the one I have on the outside of my card. This is the one I have on the inside. So here's all of our images. There's more. I didn't use the mountains. I didn't use, there's another larger tree. I didn't use all the words. I didn't use the presents. So there's a lot more in the set. Now I'm going to take my blends, and I'm going to, this is light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to color my snowman's nose, my penguin's nose, and my penguin's feet. I'm letting it kind of soak in and then going back and give it another coat. And then where the lights are on inside my cabin, we're going to add some pumpkin pie. And this is the light, so it's a lighter. I was really going for that subtle pastel kind of look. Again, kind of wintry. But then I thought it looks better if it has a little bit of pop. So this is the dark pecan pie. I'm just going to trace over his little arms. And then I have light pool party for my penguin's eyes. I'm going a little bit bigger than what the eyes are, so you make sure that you can see it. And then I have light crumb cake. And I'm going to color my door first, so it has one coat. I'm going to go over the lines. Then we'll come back and do another coat on the door, and that'll make it be a little bit darker. Just a tiny bit of shading. Then I'm going to grab my pumpkin pie one more time. I could probably get the darker one now that my card got a little bit brighter. I originally had these in some pinks. I didn't like it as much. It needed a little pop of color. So I have all these. I'm going to pull my cut and emboss machine over here. Now, when you're going to do a whole bunch of these, I'm going to give you a little tip. See this? It's kind of bent. It's been used a lot because I like to use them. So I am going to put my flat one, the one that's flatter, on here because I don't want all these to move once I get them on here. And I'm also going to start with my smallest ones. So here's the holly berries. And the house, since I picked it up, we'll go ahead and put on there. Maybe I'll just do them as I pick them up because there are a lot of them. This will be the part that takes them the longest at camp. Just lining all these up. Okay, I stamped the hat a little bit too close to the house, which I hate when I do that because now I have to go back and do just one more. So now the crooked one can go on top. So give another look. Make sure that you haven't moved anything when you were putting them on. And then you need to put this straight down on top. If you go like this and put it in and do it that way, you're going to move them. So this, just drop it straight down. And when you drop it, then just grab it. And then don't let go until the very last one has gone through. Now I can let go because the house has grabbed on. But you know, they can bounce a little bit, especially when you have this many and all those tiny ones. So we still need to get the house, the hat, because it was too close to that. Actually, I did better on these than I did when I did it before. So here's all of these. I'm going to grab another little thing and stick them in. And then let me get the hat. Now I'm going to go back to my pecan piece. And this is from the fishing set. You can find it in the annual catalog or online. So it makes a tackle box. But when I saw this set and I was thinking, how can I get all the pieces or as many pieces as I possibly can onto one card? I decided that they reminded me I love to decorate. So we have a smaller entertainment center and it changes every season. I have a print box and it changes every season. I have every room in my house, every little corner changes every season. But I like when I have the smaller boxes to put my tiny things in. So I decided I would change it from a tackle box into just a little, like a shadow box. And I wanted it to be wood because I was going for that rustic look. So this needs to be wood. See, it pops it out. So when you make a tackle box, then you can put your tackle in the box. I just need to have the back of mine look like it's wood. And then I didn't do the, oops, that one's going the wrong way. I didn't do the frame just because I'll show you when we get it in a second. It's already kind of delicate and you wouldn't be able to tell if it was on here, but it had the print. So I just left it. So this goes here. Pull this out, takes the gray plate. This is part of the Nests of Winter. Roll that through once. So now what we're going to end up with is, see, I told you it's a very easy card. It just is like a puzzle. So we're going to end up with a little puzzle that we have to put back together. But it's so easy and it's a really cute effect. So now these all look like they're part of my wood box. And then I'm going to take my card itself and lay it in here. I'm doing it this way because the other day when I did it, I folded it in half first, and you don't have to fold it in half first. I'm putting the half a sheet because these new ones now are a nice size to do this with. So at camp, they're making this and they're making the bird garden, so they'll do this twice. There's no ribbon on this card because there wasn't really any place left. You can hear the static in my house. You turn that heat on, which we finally did this week, and everything sticks to everything. So we got my card. Fold this in half. And the reason I stamped on another color of this was to give it some stability. So if you watch the bird video, you know, once you run it through a folder, although this one doesn't do it as bad as some, but sometimes they make your paper kind of flimsy, and I don't want a flimsy card. So by adding something to the front and then something on the inside, it puts it right back to the same weight that we're used to. Okay, so now we're going to take our outside, and see, it already has a little bit of a pattern on it, so it doesn't need the wood. And I'm afraid that it would, same thing it does to this, it makes the card just a little bit more flimsy. So I am going to take my foam adhesive strips, and it takes about 2 full ones for this. So pull one off, and it's just the right size. In fact, the stuff's a tad bit smaller, but because we're putting on a white background, nobody will notice. Just turn these off, and then once you turn them off, kind of press it on there. Partly because there's, like I said, it's just about the right size. So you want to make sure it's all the way stuck. So one piece does a short and a long, and then I'm just going to kind of add this here to the center. And then one more strip. So these are in the catalog. They're in the adhesive section. Or if you're on my website, just look up adhesives on the shopping site. It's great if you're going to do a shaker card, which this set with the snow globe makes fabulous shaker cards. But I noticed that the window sheet is currently unavailable. And I know it's because people have been making so many shaker cards with this. You could do a shaker with this as well and just have snow or something and make the windows over the top, but we don't need it because mine is just like my home decor and there's no glass on them. So press it all on there, and see, you can kind of see it, but once I put it on the white card, it just disappears. If it really bothers you, you could take your pecan colored blend and color the edges of it, and then you wouldn't see it at all. But once everything's in here, you'll see. You don't notice it. Make sure you get all the strips off, because the last thing you want is this to come off once you put your puzzle piece together. And that's just going to go straight onto here. My hand hit that, and it went down before I intended. And press it. So see, the white just disappears. Even this way, you don't notice it. And I'm just going to add some adhesive to every one of my squares. And then the 2 long ones are the same size. So these 2 are the same size. Pop it in there. And then a couple of places, like my foam strip was just inside, so I had to kind of force it. And then there's 2 that are this size. And then the bigger one. So this is easy. Just pop them right back in. This one's touching the foam. So just see, just press it and it goes. And now we're just going to fill up our thing just like if we were decorating our house. So I'm just going to start, and I'll pick one up. And on this one, I know where it's going to go. The last time I kind of laid them all in there and then glued them in. So here's your snowman, and look, his arms are bigger. So again, you just kind of work it in here. Press him down. He has his little hat. Maybe I didn't get any adhesive on that. We have our snowflakes. I like the darker ones a little bit better. We have our penguin. And I like this darker too. He just looks a little, and I'll show you, with the basic gray, the snowman looks more prominent. Our little cabin. Another snowflake. And this tree here, I'm going to put right on the inside. So the inside of my card is nice and festive. And we have just a couple more pieces. We have the tree. That's going to go with her house. And then I have my penguin holding the candy cane. And then I need to cut out my season's greeting, so I'm just going to trim this out with my snips. This in here. I think it's kind of fun how these things fit perfectly. It's like the tackle box was designed for this set. Is that crooked? Maybe a little bit. There we go. And then my holly. This needs to go a little bit lower. Well, maybe it won't go a little bit lower, so we'll just put that a little bit higher. And then just a couple more, 2 more things to do. I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. And I'm not going to Stella everything. I'm going to be pretty particular about what I do. I want the inside of my windows, so it looks like the light's on. And a little bit on my tree. A little bit on half his hat, because if you do half, then you really notice it on that half. Make his arms be a little frosty, and his nose. Nose and feet. A tiny bit here. And then every one, other of these for my candy cane. And again, just half of him, so you really notice it. And I'm just going to swoop it through some of the letters. If you could see it close, you would see that where it just has a little bit of Stella, it really shows. Because sometimes if you do the whole thing in Stella, you don't notice it. There we go. So that's all that. And then for my embellishments, I was really torn because there's a lot. The little snowflakes would be cute, but I decided I did want to keep the overall feel that you're looking at a box. So then you wouldn't have things floating around in the air, right? And you're not going to be sticking stuff on the back of your box. So these are also online exclusives, and they are in pecan and silver, which is perfect for this. I'm going to add a pecan one there, a little silver one here. So that's 2. And then I'm going to add a pecan. The other one I did, I'm going to do pecan for his buttons, but you have to go, this first one needs to go all the way down so it just covers the top of that. Otherwise they both don't fit on top of his buttons. And then I'm going to do a big silver one on top of my tree. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the other one, I put a hat, and I realized that was an odd number, and he doesn't really need it on his hat. Isn't that cute? So if you're going to make several of these, if you're making 10, stamp 10 penguins, stamp 10 snowmen, go back and color in those bits. And then when you come back to cut them out, you can just kind of, if you do them on strips, that like if your paper is this size, then do all your snowmen down, and you can just you can line them up. You can tell I do lots of classes. You can line them up and just roll that many through at a time, and it will go so much faster than doing all of that like I just did. So here's my other one. It's not a whole lot different. You can see the difference between the penguins. The black I like better, and I also like the darker snowflakes, but otherwise same thing. So keep coming back because I'll have some more Christmas cards to share with you. Have a great day. Bye.